All right, everyone, we're back. I don't know what part this is, number 4, maybe. I was getting ready to put the steering shaft in, and this is the one that come out of this tractor originally. You see it's pretty nice shape there. Cleaned everything up, the bearing's nice and tight, still got the cotter pin in the end of it. The problem is, when I put that in there and put the nut on, I had like a half turn before there was any engagement in the teeth. So I don't know if this is the problem or if the gear inside there is the problem. So come back to this one. This was the gear or the shaft that come with that front end I bought, and you can see it's pretty crusty here. Somebody did put a new bearing on it. It's got a sealed roller bearing on it, but they neglected to fix the cotter pin that's sheared off in there. And then somebody beat this thing with a hammer trying to get that steering wheel off of there instead of using a puller. So I got this thing set up on my lathe. I took my tailstock off so I could stretch this out as far as possible. I still got way too much overhang here. One of these days, instead of buying tractors, I'm going to buy myself a big lathe so I can do projects like this. It would be nice to be able to chuck up a long piece like this, just for my little projects anyway. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to spin this thing out. We'll kind of take it easy here because I don't want things to go crazy on me. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to take a file to this, try and clean this up a little bit. I need to clean up this shaft part here where the steering wheel presses on. And then I think I will take some emery cloth to this, try to clean this up a little bit. We'll get some brake cleaner, shine all this up. And then I want to stick this shaft in that housing and see if it's any better. So let's get to it. Okay, well, we're going here. Get my stuff out of the way here. Probably should slow it down a little bit. We got a little bit of a wobble at that end. But we'll just try it out here quick. Try to get you back in the screen here. Alright, let's see how this goes. Yeah, I don't know if that's going to work or not. The thing is pretty rough looking. Somebody went at this thing with a chainsaw. Alright, I'm going to keep polishing here. I'll bring you back here in a little bit once we get this other end cleaned up. I just want to get it cleaned up before I even shove it in there because I don't want to create more problems. But alrighty. Alright, I just kind of want to go on this with a piece of sandpaper here. I'm not going to take a file to it because I don't want to create more trouble. Hit her with a little bit of brake clean, maybe. That's probably going to have to be good enough. She's pretty rough looking. Alright, let me finish cleaning this up. I'm going to shove her in there and see how it feels. I might go back to that other shaft. We'll see. Alright, well, I shoved this old one in there, or this new one, whatever you want to call it, but you can see there's quite a bit of wear on there. I can feel it with my finger, but there really was no difference. About a quarter of a turn in play before you get any kind of movement. But this shaft is a lot tighter in this housing. There's very little play. And it's not all beat up on this end, so I think I'm going to go with my original shaft. I'll try it out. I don't know. Maybe I need to do a full rebuild on this thing, try and tune things up a little bit, but I think for right now we're just going to put the shaft in her and see how it goes. And I was kind of a little concerned about the play in this shaft. I think this one was a little tighter than this one as far as movement before it turns. Okay, let's keep going. Alright, well, I think we're going to kind of wrap things up for tonight. Got this steering shaft bolted in there. I got the cap on. Got the drain plug resealed. I got to get some oil for that. Like I said, we ended up going with the original shaft that was on this tractor. We got new radiator hoses top and bottom. Got everything installed here just kind of loosely. Got this bracket straightened out and put back on. The issue I got now is my pads. My pads that the radiator was sitting on. If you look closely, it looks like they were cut out of the same piece of tire. I don't know what kind of tire that is. Probably off of 70s Dodge Charger or something. But anyway, when you get down here, the radiator's sitting on that bracket, and these are a little thin for that. So I was thinking, I got some of this plastic here. I was cut some round disc and stacked them up in there, maybe a couple of these. This is like a 1/4 of an inch. But I think if I did that with this blue here, it would stick out like a sore thumb. So I think I'm going to look around in my junk pile and see if I got any black plastic like this. This is out of an old 55-gallon drum I had laying around here. But I think that plastic, I could cut it round, maybe 2 or 3 inches in diameter, stack them up in there. It'd look nice when I was done. And I could cut a hole for the middle where the bolt goes through. So I think we're pretty much done for today. Like I said, I'm going to find something to make some shims for that radiator, and we'll get this baby back on the road. I guess for now, we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night, and we'll see you tomorrow probably.